volume, we follow Srila Prabhupada through the years of the greatest active participation in ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, as its sole leader. In 1968, Srila Prabhupada has approximately 50 disciples and 6 ISKCON centers. Although his followers have increased their numbers, most of them are no more than sincere neophytes. Prabhupada is personally available to each of his disciples and he continues to manage and maintain each ISKCON center. Then in July 1970, Srila Prabhupada forms his governing body commission and begins to turn over ISKCON management to his board of GBC secretaries. Yet we find Srila Prabhupada still actively guiding the activities of his society, expanded by 1971 to 600 disciples and 65 centers. Although the teachings of Krishna consciousness have existed since time immemorial within India's Sanskrit Vedic literatures and are the origin and essence of all religious expression, until Srila Prabhupada began his preaching, Krishna consciousness in its original purity had never been widely spread. In the most popular and basic Vedic text, Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna teaches that He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and that real religion, real knowledge, and real endeavor can be understood only when one dedicates his life to the loving service of the Lord. Only full surrender to the Supreme can bring one freedom from the laws of karma and cycle of repeated birth and death. Srila Prabhupada was convinced that devotional service to Lord Krishna is life's goal and that to engage others in devotional service is the highest welfare activity. And these convictions drove him in his traveling and preaching on behalf of his spiritual master and Krishna. Srila Prabhupada's success in spreading Krishna consciousness was due to his being directly empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaitanya Charitamrita states, Kalikalera Dharma Krishna Nama Sankirtana Krishna Shakti Vinanahe Tara Pravartana. The fundamental religious system in the age of Kali is the chanting of the holy name of the Krishna. Unless empowered by Krishna, one cannot propagate the Sankirtana movement. Yet although Srila Prabhupada was empowered, his life story is not one in which success comes reality and automatically comes neatly and automatically. Everything being miraculously erected by God. Rather, Srila Prabhupada's story is one of the constant attempts on behalf of his spiritual master. Success come, but only after great endeavor and faith. Prabhupada encountered difficulties in trying to spread love of God in a godless world. He sometimes met opposition from government, the media, and the religionists, including those in India. Even within his own society, he met difficulties caused when his neophyte disciple fell to the allurements of the material world. Yet through all difficulties, Srila Prabhupada preserved with the sublime tolerance, kindness, and unflinching determination of a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. By material standards, it is extraordinary that a person of Srila Prabhupada's age could constantly travel, comfort problems, and opposition, and simultaneously produce volume after volume of translated Vedic literature. But material vision cannot comprehend Srila Prabhupada's activities. He was truly a Mahatma, as described by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. The Mahatmas are always working under the direction of my internal energy in spreading Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada was far from merely a religious zealot trying to increase his sect. His writing, traveling, and preaching were done in pure devotion to Lord Krishna and were therefore transcendental. It was Krishna himself, Srila Prabhupada saw, who was bringing the results. Lord Chaitanya has stated, Prudvite Acheyata Nagaradi Grama Sarvatra Prachara Haibe Mora Nama. In every town and village, the chanting of my name will be heard. These words directly spoken by Lord Chaitanya are certainly true. The Lord's prediction must come to pass. Many Gaudiya Vaishnavas, however, even as recently as disciples of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Considered the Lord's prediction problematic. The name of the Lord Chaitanya in every town and village. Should this be taken allegorically? Certainly, the Americans, the Europeans, the Africans, the Polynesians, and Mongolians, the uncultured natures outside of India could never become Vaishnavas. Thus, Lord Chaitanya's words had seemed an enigmatic topic for speculation. Srila Prabhupada, however, was under orders from his spiritual master Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati to preach Krishna consciousness beyond India, and alone in 1965 he took a great step and left India, crossed the Atlantic, and began the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in New York City. Although some of the Prabhupada's god brothers had gone to England some 30 years before, they had failed to establish anything and had even concluded that to give Krishna consciousness to Western people was not possible. But Srila Prabhupada, fulfilling Lord Chaitanya's prediction, traveled and employed his disciples in traveling to open centers in New York City, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Boston, Montreal, Buffalo, Seattle. He also sent his disciples abroad to London and other countries. They succeeded where Prabhupada's god brothers had failed. As the present volume explains, Srila Prabhupada traveled not only to enlist new devotees and establish Krishna consciousness in new places around the world, but also to maintain that he had already begun. Had he not continued to travel to each temple, instructing his disciples, observing their progress, correcting their mistakes, raising the standard of their Krishna consciousness, the devotees would not have been able to continue. Repeatedly, Prabhupada had to go around the world. Srila Prabhupada, by his faith in Krishna, by his selfless dedication to the order of his spiritual master, and by the blessings of Lord Chaitanya, did what no one else could have done. As Chaitanya Charitamrita states, Krishna Saki Vina Nahe Tara Pravartanam. Now, only the empowered by Krishna can actually spread the chanting of Hare Krishna around the world. This volume is an account of years of struggle and ultimate fulfillment in Srila Prabhupada's life. I invite the reader to relish them. Here is the rags to riches story of one who started alone with nothing but whose a movement, writing, and personal life created an astounding and permanent impression on the world. By following Srila Prabhupada through these times, we gain an understanding of his exalted and humble life. I am unable to describe Srila Prabhupada fully. I have therefore composed an invocation praying that I be permitted to tell this story purely from transcendental viewpoint. Otherwise, it would be ruined and incomprehensible. When properly told, the life of the pure devotee brings the greatest joy and benefit to the hearers. I think we can stop here. So yeah, as we read today, I think it's still in the introductions. We completed introduction today. So as we see, many Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj disciples and other Gaudiya Vaishnavas try to preach in England or other places, but no one can able to achieve or spread the Krishna consciousness. Even though Krishna consciousness is there, time immemorial, but no one has able to achieve what Prabhupada has achieved, and nobody able to spread and preach to people all over the world. And Prabhupada started, let old age travel to New York, and he started initiating preaching, giving the Krishna's name to Westerns who have never, heard or known Krishna. And he could able to travel to different countries and instructed different devotees to go and start the new centers. And Prabhupada is to travel each location and guide them, through the mails and visiting them and motivating them. And it all tells that, Prabhupada is the empowered uh, by Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, it's not possible, humanly possible for any other one can able to do it. And yeah, and as Chaitanya Charitamrita said that, Harinam Sankirtana Sankirtan will be spread to each and every town and village. But if you read that, it looks like impossible or unless divine intervention or divine's blessing, which is not possible. But I think with the Prabhupada's mercy and he was empowered, we are seeing what it is, how far and wide it has been spread, and more to come in this Krishna consciousness.